Hey everybody, welcome back to Visual Novel Book Club. I'm your pal Slowbeef. With me, of course, my good friend Jim.
Hello.
Pulahoko.
Good evening.
Turbo C.
Hello.
Dvac.
Hello.
Well, here we are, episode 4.
Too many of us said hello there. We needed to change it up.
What else
Okay,
should we
goodbye.
say?
Yeah, there we go.
Rise and shine, Ursine!
Okay.
No, we're not doing that because I tried to do it last time and you bailed on me.
I was bullied. Slowbeef was bullying me.
I'm not saying anything that Mono Kid would. Look, chapter 1 is over. It's a new day in... What is this again? The Gifted, Academy for Gifted Ultimates? Or
Gifted Juveniles.
Yeah.
Gifted Juveniles.
Ultimate Academy for Gifted Juveniles, I think it was.
Somebody, please start us off. What happens on chapter 2?
Oh gosh, chapter 2 opens and we're not in the school. We have an aside, a cutscene with people in the outside world at a mass memorial, and we see Kaede's picture with a candle in front of it, and then it backs out, and there's 15 other empty pictures, and they're like, oh, I think that group probably killed all these teens.
Yeah, there's a full 16 frames there. We can only see Kaede's, but yeah.
So yeah, based on what's happened so far, it seems like, the outside world knows about this group that's probably called the Ultimate Hunt, and they got them. And I guess I don't know if I think they talk about it like they're not sure if they're dead, like they hope that they're alive, that like they're aware of the motives of this group. Yeah,
this comes up later on, but during the scene, it's like, well, I hope they're alive for our sakes. And then, well, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, it's like they don't know if they're dead or alive, but they hope they're alive for their sakes, quote unquote.
My prediction is that this is the cover story as to why these kids are missing or whatever, and either nobody's searching for them or knows where they are. We the audience are meant to believe they all die at the end of this, but this is actually just how whoever has taken them is kind of explaining away their disappearance. Or that, they've just gone missing and they're presumed dead. Possibly.
Yeah, I get the feeling that, the outside world is also in on this, whatever it is. Whether they view their actions as, good or bad, they know exactly what their actions are and why they did it, why they abducted them.
Yeah, I was sort of getting, a Battle Royale vibe from this, where it's,
I was gonna say Hunger Games.
I was feeling the correct answer, which is Battle Royale.
Tomatoes.
But no, it was government sponsored, and the people are aware of it, but it's still sad when they are forced to go into
the cube.
So, yeah, forced to go into the cube.
God.
That's different, because cube...
If you translate Ultimate Academy to Gifted Juveniles, it spells out the letters cube.
I don't know, something about
Kyuebe Akamatsu.
Okay, so...
Okay, alright, I'm fucking around.
This episode is going to feature a lot of cube-heavy discussion, just to prepare all of you for what you're about to listen to.
I'll try to hold myself back.
And so we go back to the school, and outside the school, Gonta finds a rock with Horsey written on it. I love that Pokemon.
Horse?
Yeah.
It's like Horse A, which...
Horsey. The
Pokemon,
seahorse Pokemon. Yeah. In order to escape,
I
they need
don't
to find
follow.
and capture the Horsey, clearly, and evolve it.
It's like a really early version of Pokemon Go.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yep, that's right. But I think we'll notice one thing. I will point out one thing I noticed about it. It's written kind of diagonally.
It looks like
there's
letters missing.
Yeah, that it's not really obvious. Well, I think we all knew it wasn't really spelling Horse A, but I think the H, the O, the R, the S, and etc. are letters from different lines.
Yeah.
In whatever this is going to spell out.
Yeah, we'll see that again soon as well.
So that happens, and then we cut to Shuichi's room. He wakes up. It's a new day without Kaede, and Kaito is knocking on the door. And if you, at this point, I immediately, I went to save, and when you bring up your monopad,
you're afraid of what he
Shuichi's
would do.
monopad.
You have a
Shuichi's monopad
different
is
theme.
blue. Yeah, it's a different color. It's like
Yes.
a cyan blue. Yeah, so Kaito knocks on the door, comes in and is like, "Hey, come have breakfast." And Shuichi's like, I think he even is like, "I don't usually eat breakfast," and Kaito's like, "No, come have breakfast. We're friends now."
Yeah, and they're kind of alluding to, like, Shuichi's like, I'm not going to bring it with me today, but he won't say what it is.
Yeah.
What could it be?
Oh, and Kaito apologizes for punching him in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
Like,
right.
yeah, don't
I
worry about
forgot that.
Such a teen boy conversation. It was good. Then as we leave the dormitory and look across the way, we see that like a bunch of crap has been cleared out. A lot of like trees and junk have been cleared out, and you can see into the sort of walled off castle area that was locked previously. There are 2 buildings that appear to be, before I knew what they were, I just said, "Oh, there's a castle full of sins on the horizon."
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
So you can see the casino and the Love Hotel, but we don't have access to that area yet. And I also
We don't
noticed
know
the
what they
wall,
are yet either.
The outside air, like the outside wall around us, like it's not a city. It's like it's just the wall that's like slowly being built up. Like the cage that we're in is slowly being sealed off.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I had not
Noticed
noticed that.
Because now it's
I-
just gray and like closer to the forefront, so it's not like images, like shapes in the background. It's like, here's these gray, like this is just part of the wall. So we're like being sealed in, is the impression that I got.
Yeah, that's what I saw too. But like, I don't know. Maybe that could just be the way they decided the art should look. Maybe it's not intentional, just sort of something they're doing. But that's what it looked like.
Yeah, so that's what my impression was. There's more of it and it's closer, so we're being sealed in to this cage.
I mean, if you look at it, it looks like there's a frame for a dome to it
Yeah.
just be entirely closed around you. So
Yep.
Oh,
Makes sense.
so it's not even a cage. It's like that's the frame of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it was never like they were never defined buildings. They were just shapes out there. And then as they sort of increase, you're like, oh, maybe this isn't actual anything. It's just this thing getting filled in.
So that's scary. It implies there's a time limit to escape. So yes, Shuichi heads to the kitchen or the cafeteria for breakfast, and he not wear he hat. Shuichi take he hat off. Shuichi is the
Where
hat.
my head?
Why did we? What meme is that? Why did we have to phrase it like that?
it's
I
for
know.
the younger people in our audience. So you have to talk in baby talk
Oh.
sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes
got
my
it,
friend
sorry.
Charles talks like that, and I do too. That's all. I don't know where it originates
Oh.
from.
So Luigi didn't wear his hat.
I talk like that to my cat and to my like baby nephew. So Suichi,
You should teach your nephew proper grammar.
Whoa. Should teach our audience proper grammar.
he doesn't speak any words, let alone proper grammatical words.
Immediately after using the meme, he's like, you shouldn't do that.
Don't be like me, kid.
How dare you?
It's too late for me, but maybe not you.
Anyway,
So
Tell-
Shuichi
tell us, yeah.
Shuichi has the so if you've played the Danganronpa games previously, you'll notice that the protagonists have what is called an ahoge, which is basically cowlick, little piece sticking out of the air. Kaide had one as well. And Shuichi has one too, and his hat was literally, like, if you're metagaming, it's literally just there to hide that from you, so you don't know he's the literal protagonist. Which doesn't make sense, because Kibo has one as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this is inconsistent, but one thing I should bring up too that Oren told me about. This was so the protagonist swap thing was sort of spoiled in Japan because there was a trailer for the game released, and in a few frames you can see Shuichi without the hat, and like Turbo said, like Danganronpa protagonists have that like pointy hair, so everyone's like, oh, he's really the protagonist. It's not Kaede, So
Yeah.
apparently that was kind of
I don't buy that, because, like, when I first saw, like, art
What?
of the characters...
Oh,
Yeah.
calling you out, slowbeef.
No, I mean, I get why people thought that, but, like, there's...
Kibo, right?
Yeah, Kibo. When you first saw promotional art of the characters, you saw Kibo, who looks a lot like Nagi from the first game, has the little ahoge thing, and I'm like, okay, I guess our protagonist is a fucking robot. Like,
Nice.
I just thought
Sorry,
he was
Nivek.
going to be the protagonist. I didn't even
Well, I mean,
care about
we don't
any of
know
the
how
other
much longer
characters.
we're gonna have Shuichi.
Yeah, I mean,
Fair,
if we're looking at
honestly.
all the ultimates, there's if that's our rule, then there's a number of people that could be the protagonist.
Yeah.
Miu's got one.
Miu
Anybody
has
that
it,
has
yep.
a hat. Could
Rentaro had one. Yeah, there's multiple people.
Gonta has multiple.
Yeah, you're right. Rentaro could be the protagonist, totally.
Oh my god, what if though? What if?
But I mean, from the very
Who knows?
beginning, like, if you had been spoiled
Right.
pre-release, like, there's multiple people with that cowlick.
That's fair. I mean, again, though, like, just this isn't speculation or anything. Like, people were theorizing that, I guess, you know. So I don't know if it had to do with the fact that, like, oh, he's got his hat here, but look here, so he must be they're
Yeah,
hiding
that's
that.
true.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
I
it
said I
happened,
don't buy it,
so.
but I buy it. I just...
Yeah, you don't understand why people would come to that conclusion.
I
given
mean,
their
I
other
can even get why people come to the conclusion. I don't get why there would be a huge, like, slew of people that'd be like, oh, they're doing a protagonist switch. I'd be like, okay, guess they're just doing people with, they're just eschewing the ahoge thing.
Yeah, it's probably like that spaghetti against the wall thing where, like, everybody's sort of putting their own theory out. So
Yeah.
when it's
Well,
revealed, they're like, oh, I had it back then. Look at that.
I'm really impressed, Joe.
Guys, what if Rentaro
Joe
was
Musashi.
Blissmichael?
Please.
We
Look,
don't
all right,
reference
let's
that
get
in-
let's get a fucking move on here, okay? Because Kokichi is also employing Gonta now.
Yeah,
he
and
just
I don't like
immediately
that.
cronifies Gonta. It's
I mean,
mean.
Gonta doesn't even really understand, like, what's going on. He's just like, okay, I can help.
He just
Yeah.
immediately believes all the lies that Kokichi is constantly saying. It's very sad.
Mm-hmm.
Bullying is wrong.
Yeah.
Well, he thinks Kokichi's gonna make him into a gentleman, and Kokichi's just like straight up like, "You're gonna be my henchman now," you know. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Henchmen,
no, Gonta,
most of those
don't.
words are in Gentlemen.
And everyone
Right.
keeps saying, like, Gonta, he's lying to you. He lies all the time. Like, you can't believe anything that he says. And Gonta, like, doesn't... Like, he's like, okay, I won't. And then Kokichi says
And
another
then,
sentence, and he's like, oh, I believe you again?
Too pure for this world. We'll just
love
Too
Gonta.
pure
For
for
this
this
killing game.
game full of bullies.
Yeah.
and murder.
Yeah, I'm
So,
looking for him to get offed by somebody, just, like, tricked. Like, hey, Gonta, look at this hole.
It's gonna be like a Looney Tunes thing. It's definitely like,
There's, like, a bug down this hole. I need you to get it for me.
it's like the Acme butt kicking machine that Miyu.
Can I say my favorite
Knock him in.
voiced line in this game is Gonta saying, hey, bugs. Because he's
good
just
one.
like, yo, guys, come on out.
You know what? Did we talk about Miu's line when we find the manhole cover? And she says something like, "Oh, there's an important hole with some hair around it. Am I right, ladies?" And I love that line because it's like she's expecting all the women to be like, "Yeah, Miu, that's right. Like, good one."
Yep. She has a
Sorry.
few of those.
Worse.
She really,
Yeah.
She gets a lot of them this chapter as well.
she really
Oh
does.
my
Like, and they
God.
sneak them in. Like they're subtle, and then you're like, oh, that's what that means.
And then Miu's
It's really
just like,
on all the time.
it's like
Try
a
it with the
dick.
other hand.
Look, genitals.
Oh my god.
Miu, there's nothing going on right now. Well, still. All right.
I don't know. I have at least one friend like that, so I'm not like shout outs to you, Sid. But
Wait,
thanks for listening to my podcast. But you know, it's
I forgot about
so
our best
I
one.
always
Hold on.
like I'm comforted. Like I'm like, oh look.
Can I say hi
it's
to
just
Sid
like
too?
real life, just like my real life conversations with my friends.
My favorite one was when they were arguing about names, and she's like, "What do you name every boy after you wank it?"
Oh, yeah, that's right. God, it's just, she's got the greatest lines, but I also like that if she's ever confronted, it's just She's like a switch, it's either on or off.
Yeah.
It should be like a one-note thing, but I love it every time.
Yeah.
Like fucking Mew supremacy.
All right, so we're in the dining hall, and Monobear shows up because he's a dick, and gives us 3 things.
4 things.
4 things. That's correct. I have it all written down in my notes right here. What are those 4 things?
Just garbage. Just a bunch of trash garbage.
I'm just checking you.
They're video game objects.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are. Seriously.
We get an ocarina, a hexagonal crank, a dragon gem, and an ancient passport.
Yeah,
I feel like is a weird translation.
The hexagonal crank is literally described as a hexagonal crank from some zombie game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good. And even Monokuma's like, great job finding a bunch of useless garbage to give them.
Oh yeah, it's the kids that give them, not Monokuma. That's right.
Yeah, and he's like proud of them for doing it.
Monokuma doesn't really do much.
He talks about bullying, and like in a weird way, because like it's like, oh, like Kokichi's bullying Gunta, and then Monokuma comes in and is like, are you all bullying? Because that's bad. We don't bully in this family.
Really not
and he like threatens his own children. Like, no, I'm a good dad, right? And then they're like, oh, sure. And like, I don't
Only
know if I'm
bad
supposed to care.
dads have kids that bully each other, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. He has this little spiel where it's like, bullies are awful. You shouldn't bully. Bullies are bullies because they have bad parents, and then his kids start bullying each other, and it's like, well, I'm a good parent, right?
Yeah, and then he threatens them into saying that yes, he's a good parent, and they would never bully each other. And I don't know if I'm supposed to care about these robot bears and their fucked up family dynamics.
I don't know. Monodam seems to
No.
have some sort of character progression going on.
Yeah,
It's so
it's
weird.
interesting.
It's so weird.
Yeah, and like Monodam is like trying to be nice to everyone now that he's killed Monokid. Manafi
Yeah,
is like
Monokid
coming
was the only
around.
bad guy.
She's like coming around. She's like, oh, like, and he's like, thank you for doing the announcement. Like, you did a good job. And she's like, oh, really? Like, thanks. So I like, and like everybody's like slowly coming around to like liking Monodam better.
Now that he talks.
And he's like really nice to everyone.
It's weird. At the end of the first trial, it's like Monokid dies, and the rest of the kids are like, well, why did you do that? And he's like, I did it for us. And then it's like, what's going on here?
Okay, but we like can pretty much guess at this point there's going to be a Monocub death each chapter, right?
Ooh, interesting.
I think that's fair.
I mean, there's
I thought
5
that way
of
too, 'cause
them.
there's-
Like,
Aren't there
I don't know how long the
chapters?
game is, but probably 5
I don't know.
chapters.
I have no
assumed
idea,
it was longer
truthfully.
than that, but okay.
I mean, I don't want to say anything. So it's like, I mean, I assumed though that like that was going to be a demarcation of some kind, but who knows? I really don't know for totally sure. But
Sure.
no, but I just like when he died and he was in the execution. That's when I was like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna have like one each kind of thing. But
I hope
I
it's
guess we'll
not in
find out.
each execution because I don't really care about them as much. I care about the characters.
well,
Not that
I mean,
they
either
aren't
way,
characters,
Yeah,
but
don't
like,
want them to steal the
alright.
show.
I would. Yeah.
And like, they're so one note. Really, except for Monodam, they are really one note. So like, you don't, who gives a crap?
Okay,
if they're one note?
Monotaro.
I think they're.
I'm a
think
fan
they're
of
funny.
Monotaro. The
I
leader
think
of the
they're
bunch,
funny.
you know
I
him
like
well.
them. I like them better than I thought I would. I felt like when they kind of introduced the Mono Cubs, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so stupid. And then I think they're funnier than like I was led to believe. That just might be a lowered expectations thing, but whatevs.
I hope that
Look.
that something interesting is happening to them behind the scenes, and that's why they are acting this way. Like, I hope there's something.
They're in their
more
own
to
like
it.
killing game.
Yeah, like what if they are though? What if this is also a test for them?
Well,
That-
then their
that's why
trial's
they
really.
keep fucking up.
Well, their trial's gonna be so easy. We know Monodam did it.
Yeah, I
mean,
wanted
you
to
know.
bring
It
something
doesn't
up.
have to be the same rules of a killing game.
I wanted to bring something up. Like, I'm not sure if there's a mastermind anymore. Because
Oh, yeah, no.
if there is a mastermind, it's like up to this point, and by the end of this chapter, it's like this is a killing game that is just not being run very well at all. like whoever is behind this doesn't know what they're doing. So much stuff.
Counterpoint. Maybe Gonta is the mastermind because it's going so poorly and they don't know what's going on.
Wow,
Gonta doesn't know what a computer is.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Me push magic box.
No, he knows about bug porn. He watched bug porn on the DVD player or whatever.
Yeah, he watched
Moving on.
We have gotten through 10 minutes of this chapter so far.
Look,
Yeah, we
We
really have to move
unlock,
along.
so what we do with the
Yeah.
items, the items, they unlock all the ultimate labs. You go around, you put the item in the hole, it opens the door, it's great. Let's talk about all the labs that we unlocked.
all right, Magician's Lab.
Magician's Lab, the passport.
Himiko's
opens the
upset
door.
because... Yeah, Himiko's upset because this is a magician's lab, not an ultimate mage's lab.
Right.
Also, the Magician's Lab is just a room full of murder tools. It's just a room
Yeah,
full of
it
things
is.
you can use to kill people.
Oh,
told-
the
yeah.
sawing in half trick didn't work. What a shame.
There's like an Iron Maiden. There's like one of those like torture chair kind of things.
giant
There's like a big
pot.
water tank. Right. So it's like, yeah, it's all like magic tricks, but all those like escape artist
kinda
kind of things
dangerous
where
ones.
somebody could be killed in one, right? So there's that.
And they're
There's a-
public.
there's a
They're
bird
open-
in the
They're
cage,
not
though.
locked. The labs.
Correct. Yeah, they specify like they are not locked. You can't be sealed off. And literally, what's her face has to guard hers to make sure you can go
Maki.
inside.
Maki, yeah.
Maki, yeah.
Yeah, Maki doesn't
Although-
want anyone... Which is a shame because I wanted to, like, hang out with her during our free times. She will not budge from her ultimate room. Ultimate
No,
child
she won't
caregiver.
even hang out with you even if you go there. She's just like, go away.
Yep.
Yeah, there's not even an option.
Yep.
Wow. So she's hers is unlocked. It's like one of the ones on the top floor. So you unlock the higher
Yeah.
floor. And
Yeah, we
hers
unlocked the
is-
third floor?
Yeah, and she's like she's the ultimate
yeah.
babysitter, and her room is just like a fucked up looking red door, with like not scratches, but just like a bad paint job, and it looks really scary.
It doesn't look like it has anything to do with kids. Like,
Yeah.
if it's like child rearing, maybe like, ducky print wallpaper or, something like that.
So what
Aside
is even her
from
deal?
Kaide's, do the doors actually, like, hint at the...
They do.
The
Yeah,
magician
the
one does.
big-
It's got symbols on it. Yeah.
The tennis
Yeah.
one
Okay,
has a
I-
tennis racket.
I didn't notice that.
The bug
honestly.
one has bugs.
The next one that I went to actually was not that. I went to Kurumi's, the maid.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You put the dragon
Yeah,
orb
hers.
in the dragon statue, and it unlocks a passage. The ultimate maid lab is there, and the ultimate entomologist lab is there. And the maid lab is like this Victorian house with a table and some dummies set up on it, and then like
I
one
love
of the
the
walls
dummies. You
goes
can destroy
away.
them.
And yes, you can knock the dummies' heads off and stuff. And then there's like washing machines and stuff in there.
There's a secret room of washing machines.
yeah.
And power
I thought that
washers.
was going to be involved in the murder.
I totally thought either that or like the power washers would cover up the crime.
Yeah, there's a lot of like crime tools in all of these labs. Just like straight up dangerous crime tools.
I straight up thought that, like, someone was just going to, quote-unquote, accidentally put Ryoma in the washing machine.
Or Kokichi.
Or Kokichi, yeah, he's small enough, too.
Or
He deserves
Kokichi
it
would
more.
be like the kid that just wanders in and wants to take a ride.
Oh
And
my god. Gonta, I want to ride in the washing machine.
Well, considering that Kokichi's like the only person sort of advancing the antagonist role of the plot, like I don't think he's dying anytime soon.
Oh no.
Unless
it's,
somebody
like,
else flips.
important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna lose it and kill him though.
if he
That's
keeps
what
it
I
up,
think.
yeah.
Because he's so annoying. Which is why I love him, of course. I'm gonna be sad when he dies. But he's gonna deserve it. So there's also the entomologist lab right down the way. And there are bugs in it! There's bug eggs for Gonta. A whole wall full of bug eggs.
There's also like fake bugs like flying around on the top. They're like you can see them attached
yeah,
by
they're,
the
like-
lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the game doesn't let
cute.
you investigate this, but it appears there's either one or multiple huge, like, fans that are kind of bolted to the ground that, I guess, circulate the air.
I thought those were to make the, like, fake flying bugs look like they're flying.
But well, the whole thing is, like, kind of like a habitat almost, where like, I can't tell if it's fake or not, but there's, like, all kind of plants and stuff, and I figured the fan was there to, like, regulate some kind of environment.
I was thinking humidity or something,
Yeah, some kind of climate troll type of thing.
Well, who says it can't be both?
Okay, and then
Then there's a treasure chest.
Yes, a big treasure. It's like a big video gamey treasure chest, and there's like a flashlight kind of thing inside. And Angie, of all people, says it just takes it from us, and she says, "I'm gonna go inspect it." Whatever.
But she's too scared to
With her
actually try
ultimate
turning
talent.
it on. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, "What the fuck is Angie doing with this?" Because she's an artist. I think even Shuichi's like, "Why did she take it?" But like, whatever. Going to slab. Oh yeah, and then we can go outside, I think, and
Well, there's the tennis lab also.
Tennis lab,
You go
thank
up
you.
to the
Yep.
upper floor,
Third floor,
and there's tennis and babysitting. And the tennis one you can go in, and Realm is in there. And it's tennis. There sure is a tennis in there.
a
And
big
there's
tennis
also
court. There's,
a
like,
large
robot.
door painted on the wall in the hallway between the tennis and babysitting labs. And it's just a door.
Oh, yes.
And Shuichi's
Is it
like,
the
I
pixel
think,
door?
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
it
like,
looks
I
like
think
a
this
big
is
video
called
game
pixel
door.
art,
Yep.
and it's not
Right.
real.
Yeah. There's also another door in Ryoma's like tennis lab. I think they say it's like a storage room or something. But
Shower.
It's a shower.
Shower, but we don't go in it.
Oh yeah, because Mew's there to make a blowjob joke. Yes. of
Oh
course.
man, it was real bad too.
It was rough.
I forget that one.
Oof.
I forgot all about that.
Like that one wasn't even that funny. It was just like, oh, you're just going there, okay?
And then we unlock something that's not an ultimate lab, it's just a pool.
Yeah, the pool.
Yeah,
The
the
pool is-
ocarina opens the pool. Oh, that's what the dolphin sign was pointing at. So the dolphin mystery's been solved, but
Yeah.
there's no dolphins in the pool.
No.
The pool is really deep, but it's only filled up like a couple feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And-
like... I
go
forget
ahead.
how deep they say it is.
Yeah, the Mono kids show
But
up
it
and they're
looks
like,
like 30 feet.
yeah,
It's like-
the kids show up and they're like, we didn't fill it up all the way because then someone could drown.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 13 feet deep on each side and 8 on each end and 8 on the sides, and it's just like, okay, so
Why?
what?
Shuichi just kind of rattles off these numbers. Oh, it's the length, width, and depth. It's like, okay, is that important? Or
That's a deep fucking
I
pool
think it's
too.
because it's a
Yeah.
diving pool, because there's like a really tall
Yeah, totally.
diving board. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, it's
That
not
would
like a
make
fun
sense, yeah.
pool that goes to like, it's like 5 feet and 3 feet or whatever
There's no,
for
like,
like
water
actually
slide or
relaxing
anything.
in. Yeah, it's like a diving pool.
No, it's
And also, when you find these things too, you have to like explore every element of the room first. Most of which don't seem like they have any impact on what's going on there.
Oh yeah, it forces
guess
you to
that's-
look up.
Yeah.
And you look up and there's like a window into the school and a window out into like to outside or something like that where you can see from those vantage points into the pool area.
yeah. There's 2 windows high up, right?
Yeah.
On each side. The also the Mono Cubs show up. I keep calling them Mono Kids, but the Mono Cubs show up to tell us the pool rules. Also,
yeah,
And they tell us the pool rules by telling us to look at the pool rules.
Oh, that's right. And then you go look at the sign, and the pool rules. What are the pool? It's pretty much like your standard sort of pool rules, but then there's like you're not allowed to enter the pool at nighttime.
yeah. It's like no swimming past a certain point. You're not even allowed to touch the water.
Yeah.
Right.
You can go inside, you can't touch the water. So, okay.
Right.
They're like really afraid of someone drowning is the way that they act.
Yeah, exactly.
But like
It's
in a really
we-
like in a way where they're not like where they don't really understand what drowning is maybe, but just like that it's a thing that can happen.
I feel like it's like supposed to be the ironic joke of like, hey, we want you all to be really safe while you murder each other.
Yeah, yeah.
well,
know,
we don't
when
want to be
When you
sued
think
here.
of it, it would really kind of fuck up the killing game because if somebody just drowns, there's no murderer, and then there's
Yeah.
there's the wrong number of people left, so you can't do the killing game anymore.
It would be bad to have an accident, maybe, for whatever their goal is, which is forcing everyone to kill each other.
C'est la vie.
So the people that are in there are Tenko and Kibo. And Tenko is there to tell us that she doesn't know how to swim. And Kibo is there to get dunked on some more. But then there's also a little line where we find out that, like, maybe Kibo is non-binary? Because, like, and Shuichi's like, oh, I had just been using male pronouns, but I guess I didn't. And Kibo's like, they ask, like, Kibo, are you a boy or a girl? And Kibo's like, I don't know.
I'm a robot, but, like, I don't really care.
I never thought about this before.
Right, but what's in your pants? Energy cells.
Exactly.
Fair answer. I think that's. Oh no! And then do we get to open the casino and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Casino and Hotel Kama Sutra.
I mean, the casino apparently has a whole new monetary system. That is, you can use mono coins to gamble with, but you get back, like, some kind of coin you can spend in the casino, right?
Yeah, it's like casino money. With the casino money, I forget what they're actually called, but, like, with that money, you can buy 3 different types of things. One is items that would go into the same sort of slots that you'd get stuff out of the mono machine. The other is skills, which will help you in the trials. And the third one is themes for your...
Monopad?
Yeah, your monopad, your menu screen.
Some of the stuff is pretty expensive.
A lot of it is extremely expensive.
But we can't we can't interact with those things right when we unlock them until we go back to the gym. Another thing that I wrote down about the pool, which might actually be relevant later, the fact that they didn't fill up the pool enough, while I was looking around, I was like, that means it's hard to get out of the pool because there's, like, stairs into the pool, but then it looks like it's like 5 feet down and then the water starts. So if you got into the water, it's unclear if you would be able to climb back out of that pool.
You'll be really pruny when someone finds you in the morning.
Do you know, I'll be quick with this. There was a funny Twitter thread where a guy was taking pictures of, like, skateboarding pools and stuff, and he got into, like, an empty pool, and he couldn't get out, and he tweeted...
Do you mean Ryan North?
Was that Ryan North?
He got
if
stuck
you're
at
talking
the
about
bottom
the guy
of
some
something
time
like
ago,
that.
like he just
and
went
he, like,
stuck in a hole
and couldn't get out
with his dog.
Yeah, and, like... And it was like a real-life adventure game. People were like, what do you have on you? And he's like, I have an umbrella. And, like, he's like, take off your shirt, use the umbrella. And that's how he got out, yeah.
Ryan North is a treasure.
I think he eventually got out of it by just, like, running along the edges or something.
I think so.
I thought he used an item of some kind, but, like, he like did that and then, like, hooked on with his umbrella or some shit. I forget.
And he,
but
like,
anyway.
he was with his dog and he had to, like, lift his dog out, and then he was like, go get help, and the dog's, like, just sitting there.
God, I love that.
Anyway.
Oh, and a quick thing to go back to the casino doors, like the door to the gate to get inside, has a bunch of letters, sort of spaced out, much in the same way as that the horsey stone that we found.
Oh yeah, so I actually looked this up. I forget what the so if you look at them from left to right, ignoring their horizontal flaws, these are the Latin words for lust and I think greed, the 2 of the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah, because it was like avarice and luxury or something like that.
Right.
It was what it looked like, just like not knowing.
It was avarice and lust. Those 2 things. That's correct.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
There's also next to the casino, right, the Love Hotel, which we can't.
The Kuma Sutra.
The Kuma Sutra, right?
Oh my god.
And with that, I think once we fully explored everything, we can head back to the gym? Is that
Yeah, so Angie calls everyone back to the gym to talk about the flashlight, and she's like, oh, I asked Monokuma for help. Okay. That's not suspicious.
You're all cool with that, right?
So Monokuma shows up and he goes, this is the flashback light. If you shine it in your face, it'll give you back some of the memories that you lost. And at first everyone wonders if they should use it or not, but I mean, come on, we fucking use it.
Right.
And it also, we already saw this animation when everyone got their memories wiped in the beginning, because I remember making the note of like a cannon shot at us, and like it wasn't, it was this light.
But we didn't
this
lose
was when we
memories
remembered
then.
our ultimate talents.
Ultimate talents.
So it probably was just another flashback light, yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting. And Monokuma starts to explain the science behind the flashback light, but then it's like, this is really boring. I can't believe you almost tricked me into explaining it. And we all remember. We remember the ultimate hunt, and we remember being put in a mind control machine, like Kaede was in the beginning that we saw, and it was to repress all memories related to his ultimate talent so that he could live a normal life. And he remembers saying the phrase, "I don't want to live, I want to die with everyone else." So, did they choose to be here? What did they choose to be here over? What was the alternative that they chose to be here?
Going to Flavor Town.
Like, I'm gonna
Yeah, it
guess
was this
that
or
it's
the
like,
same game but with Guy Fieri, so...
Like, I'm gonna guess that maybe something happened in the world where everybody hates ultimates, or like ultimates are being used for some sort of societal function that doesn't exist
they
anymore,
remember
or
the
they're trying
ultimate
to
hunt.
rebuild or something.
Right. Well, that's true. It could have been like some sort of like revolutionary thing where they're like, I don't know, the ultimates are what is destroying society. We take down the government by taking down the ultimates.
And to say, I don't want to live, I want to die with everyone else, sounds like you're you're sacrificing some kind of immortality? Or like something like that? I don't know. But
Yeah, definitely
so they don't get all the
sacrificing.
answers back, they only get some of them.
Right. They only remember up to the ultimate hunt, except for like Tenko, who does she remember anything about the ultimate hunt, or was she not hunted, or what?
Oh, some people have like different amounts that they kind of remember, but they all seem to talk about the ultimate hunt. But yeah, not everybody says what they remembered like separately, so it's possible that like different people had different things that they didn't bring up.
Yeah, and Ryoma's the one who's like, hey, maybe the hunt caught us, and that's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's right.
And they are like, Rantaro talked about the ultimate hunt and all that stuff. Another thing that happens here is that Kyo has some lines here, and at this point I made a note, like, Kyo's been, like, saying some weird things throughout this chapter, and for some reason, like, when we go to the Ultimate Maid Lab, and Shuichi's, like, he's kind of, like, talking about it very romantically, and Shuichi's like, that sounds like a manga for girls. And for some reason in this chapter, they keep having these little notes where they're, like, associating Kyo with femininity, and I was like, oh, and he also talks about, he sister is him, right? Like, that was what I got from it, because I was like, why would this game bring this up? Why would you have a non-binary robot and then shame Kyo for acting feminine unless Kyo's sister is like a ghost that inhabits his body?
Well, Kyo brings up, like, seances.
Yeah,
Like,
he
at some
does. He's like, when they're in the maid thing, he's like, oh, we could do a seance in here and try to, like, talk to Kaede?
Yeah, after the flashback light, they kind of bring up, Monokuma said that Rantaro would have been more useful if he remembered stuff. And
Oh, yeah, right. Talk to Rantaro.
Yeah, Kyo's like, well, he's dead, but maybe I could do a seance for him if you wanted.
Yeah.
Nobody
Please.
takes him up on it.
I really
Why
want
would
to.
you? I'd be like, what the fuck? Get
Yeah,
the hell
no
away
one
from me.
should, but, like, also I'm really gonna do that if we have the chance.
Yeah, if they give you the option.
Yeah, during the next section is free time, and I definitely went to hang out with Kyo to see if we could do a seance.
Who else? I hung out with Miyu.
Hung out with Kyo and Kokichi.
I hung out with Miyu and Gonta.
I hung out with Kirumi.
I did Kaito and Miyu.
Everybody did Miyu. Shit.
Nobody
It was a
seems to
really
care
good one,
about
though.
Tsukuki.
It was real good.
Yeah. Well, we can't talk about it, so.
No, I'm just saying.
That's great.
All right. So,
Then
let's see
sleep
here.
time. Oh, before sleep, Shuichi thinks about he thinks about the reasons that he has to live, like, outside, because everyone's, like, reminiscing about their memories and, like, trying to remember, and he thinks about, like, and Ryoma keeps talking about, like, that he doesn't have a reason to live outside of this, once he goes back, like, he doesn't have anything to go back to. And Shuichi's like, do I? I don't remember. do I have anything to go back to? Do I even have any reasons to live? And he has these intrusive thoughts, and then he goes to sleep.
Also, he's still really guilty about Kaede.
Super.
Well, yeah, it's been like a day.
Also, it is kind of his fault.
Didn't he say, like, he
No,
was
it's
kind
not.
of wondering if, like, there was some way he could have saved her?
Yeah.
It
Oh,
is
well,
also
of
kind
course
of his
he
fault.
is, yeah.
Like, he kind of comes back to this point over and over again, where it's like, well, was my work faulty? If, what could have done?
Yeah, he was. A lot of it is just like the guilt of like this all happened because Kaede trusted me and I did not do a good job.
Yeah, and no matter how not his fault it is, he's still gonna feel like that. And
So we wake up the next morning.
Speaking of reasons to keep going, the Mono Kids have dropped off their own different iPads, the Mono Kid pads, which are shitty looking.
Yeah, they're like
they've
they're
been
like the
painted
mono
on
pads,
by a
but
child.
it's like, yeah, it's got like stickers and shit on it.
And they
Yeah.
have motive videos on them.
motive.
But
Motive videos.
the motive videos
I love
have
this.
been switched up between the kids. So Shuichi doesn't get the Shuichi video, he gets Kaito's motive video.
I love this. I thought this
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
really
this is
clever.
really smart.
This is yeah.
Yeah,
This is a
so
cool
the general
bit.
idea is by distributing the motive videos, if nobody has a reason to start the killing game, this gives them a motive to do it. And it's usually something like, well, I have to get out of here because there's a member of my family in trouble, or some kind
Kaito
of
specifically, we could go over is that we're shown Kaito's grandparents that he was very close to. I forget exactly what they say, but like the
They're like,
Monokuma,
please just live. Like, if you
live
just
Yeah.
for
live.
our sake.
Yeah.
yeah, for our sake. And then Monokuma says that his grandparents met with an accident, like implying the only way you're going to find out what happened to his grandparents that he loves is, of course, by graduating.
I guess, but it also, I would take that as, like, I mean, this is Monokuma we're talking about. Like, you killed them. You killed them.
Well,
They're
he
not alive
specifically
anymore.
says he won't tell you what happened. Like, he's like,
Yeah.
it was an unfortunate accident. What kind? I'm not going to tell you.
I don't know if I would take any of that, in an uncertain way.
But like even if it was like Monobear killed him, you sort of got like this. Well, I have to know like more.
Well, Monokuma says he'll never do a murder, though.
It's a good incentive to leave.
Yeah. Well, he's
you know what I
definitely
mean?
manipulating via these videos.
I think, yeah, I
He
think it's
doesn't
supposed to
give
be
them the
more of
person.
a veiled threat of like I have them in some kind of situation and they will die if you die.
But I want to be clear too, though. Like, when I say do this is smart, I mean it's smart of the game. The implication I'm getting is Monokuma made these for the individual students, but the Monokubs fucked up and gave it to like all the wrong people.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Oh, yeah. It's more narrative mechanic that it's really good for, not
Yeah.
like individual stuff. Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
it gets more interesting from there because everybody meets in the dining hall, and they say, well, we've got these weird Cubs pads with these videos on them, the motive videos. And then Gonta is like, yeah, I got Tenko's video, or like Sumugi's.
No,
or
it's
some-
Sugumi's.
Yeah, Sugumi's
He has,
video.
he has Sugumi's video.
And everybody's like, Gonta, you fucked it up. Okay, so now
Yeah,
that
like, don't
now that
say
Tsumugi
that.
knows that you have her video, she now has a motive to kill you to see her video, and vice versa.
Or like, Kibo recommends like, well, how about none of us we'll promise not to watch each other's videos so no one knows their motive.
yeah,
And both Kokichi and Ryoma hate that idea.
So, I mean, if you were in this scenario, where would you go? Because I'm with Kokichi and Ryoma. Like, I'd want to know.
I'd go wherever that train's going is where I would go.
Well, I have to leave that in now.
So I would, yeah, I found myself agreeing with Kokichi and Ryoma as well. Like, I feel like the idea of like we should all watch all the videos. I don't know. That seemed like if you were gonna force everyone to do one thing, it seemed like it's a motive, but it also shows, like, hey, all these people have families and people who care about them outside of this, or something like that, right? With the idea that it would actually be harder to kill, and, like, maybe it wouldn't, right? Like, maybe it would be like, oh, here's, like, this information that makes this one person, like, a lot more killable now. But the idea, I think it also would backfire, like, it would kind of humanize them too much, and then it would be harder to kill each other knowing a little bit more background information about them.
But all you need is one. All it takes is one person who's like, I gotta find out what happened with my mom. Or, so, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to convince all of them. They could all be like, yeah, you know, we all have families, we're all real people. But you get that one person who's like,
but my family is more important.
And as soon as you see that, like, the next video you see, you're gonna turn off. Like, you're just gonna not absorb it because you're like, well, screw it. I gotta survive. I gotta save my mom. So I'm just turning it off. I'm not gonna actually experience this emotionally.
See, I think those videos seem so much to me like just like from Kaito's video. Like, it's like, no, Monokuma just fucking killed them. Either he killed them or he's making it up. Like, but there's nothing that Kaito can do to save them. That is obviously not true. That's like, I don't know. Again, I just didn't believe it for a second, and I don't know why they would.
Yeah, Monokuma never says...
Too, though, that's like the rational... But that's like a rational thing to think if you're like watching it and saying, how do I logically get out of this murder game or find out what happened to these people? I'm just saying, it takes one person who's like, I don't know what the fuck happened to my sister. Oh my god, she means the world to me. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Right.
It just takes... Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna... That person might not be like, oh, I can't do anything about it, that sucks. They might be like, I gotta go.
Yeah, it could take
And
that
there's
one
one way
person,
out.
or it could just take one person seeing another person's motive video and saying, well, that person is definitely going to kill somebody. I know it, that's too good of a motive. So I am going to kill somebody because I don't want to be here when this person kills somebody.
Truthfully, if I were in this murder game, which is a very likely scenario, I would want to watch the videos because I think my curiosity would just get the best of me. I get, like, we shouldn't, like, it's wrong to open Pandora's box here.
Right. I mean, we've got the one video where it's like the family member's in trouble, but you don't know what the other motive videos could be. There could be one motive video where it's just, this person is horrible, and maybe they're the entire reason that we're here. So...
But then that's good.
D-Vac, I've got everything you're saying is orange to me right now, I'm just saying.
Orange?
You can shoot it with the truth bullet.
Oh, are we playing?
Refute it.
I thought we were
God
playing
damn it,
mode.
it's even on brand! Anyway. Alright, anyhow.
So, I think Kokichi has a good point, which is sort of, like... that this... By, like, sort of not acknowledging Monokuma's game and, like, swearing that you won't play into it is just sort of a, sort of the same fallacy that Kaide got into. Like, thinking that you can do this all on your own is not a good way to play this game. Yeah. And really, just let everyone see their motives.
Don't cooperate.
Yeah,
If you cooperate, then we're, like, he's gonna keep punishing us.
Right. He kind of brings up where it's like, okay, we were in the tunnel and we were cooperating and it was useless and we were just in pain. Anytime we try to cooperate, we're just going to get punished, so why don't we just don't do that?
I do want to bring up one interesting thing, too. Himiko seems just generally upset by this, but she doesn't really say why or anything. Yep. So, I wonder, like, whose video she got, or if
Himiko starts really spiraling in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that, but maybe she got, like, who's her friend,
Angie?
Tanko?
Angie.
Oh, Tanko.
Or Tanko.
Yeah.
Tanko and Angie, she's good.
Because she starts hanging out with Angie and stops hanging out with Tanko.
Yeah.
That's a great point. I didn't notice that.
Like, Tanko, up to this point,
this will come up again, too,
has been kind of one note, but there's been this other side that's come out where she has some sort of attachment to Himiko.
Oh yeah, she's obsessed with Himiko. She has a big crush on her. Yeah.
Tanko, yeah, totally.
And it's uncomfortable because it's not reciprocated.
No, at all.
Like, yeah, and I don't know. There's something. Look, Tanko is a little offensive, but I don't know.
Yeah, Tanko.
She's like a little bit predatory, but like I don't know. This game.
I think it's just
It
it's a better
probably
way to say it
doesn't-
is Tanko sucks.
Yeah.
Tinko
She's
sucks.
really not good. It's just she's like
Yeah.
there's no like nuance or subtlety.
No.
She's like kind of a joke. I feel like she's like a joke about lesbians, and I don't like it.
And Himiko isn't really that better either.
I wouldn't
know if I'd go
necessarily
that
say
far.
that, but I can understand it. But
I don't think
she's
that's
a
all
little
of her
bit better
character,
than
but it's a
that.
lot. It's a lot of her character.
I feel like her. I don't feel like she's necessarily commentary because she's so one note per se. I kind of get where you're coming from.
She's
on that. I don't
she
know.
fights. She hates men and only talks about how much she hates men and lusts uncomfortably after girls who don't reciprocate her feelings. Like, that's Tanko.
Yeah. When you put it like that,
All right. Yeah.
There's not
on
much of a good
paper.
comeback because it kind of is just what the character is. Like they're just
Yeah.
that's what they're showing here. So
I guess
Yep.
I guess what I was getting at was I feel like she's just the sort of one-dimensional character, and I don't know that. I don't know. She's like kind of the only one that's like that. If she is meant to be a commentary on.
and the
You know
only
what I
thing
mean?
else-
Like-
yeah, exactly.
She's
Like,
not a
like
commentary, she's like an offensive stereotype.
I see.
but also like
And-
sometimes
but
they
I'm
like games
waiting
like
for
this.
her depth.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like sometimes games like this will just show you that thing to be like, oh, this is all you're gonna get from this character. Assume things about this character, and then they'll like because that makes the reveal hit more.
And she's not
I'm
the
like,
only
oh, there's a lot of
one-dimensional
depth.
character. Look at Angie.
Yeah.
No, but not. I'm not. Well, I'm not saying. Yeah, but Angie's not like.
yeah, but
Oh, I
Angie
guess.
sucks.
Angie does suck.
Not like Tanko.
Poor Himiko.
Also, like-
she can't be friends with any
Yeah.
cool people.
Yeah, she can't be friends with anybody that's like worth a damn.
Also,
yeah.
Andy's voice actress, I just can't. It's not.
Nah, I
it
hate
ain't
her.
Sayonara.
real bad. Nope.
Yeah, Bayonara is awful.
It's real bad. Like the whole performance is not good.
Bayonara is terrific.
Oh my god.
And
Like,
Himiko,
Bayonara is so
honestly, is
bad that
not
I
that
want to
much
use it in
better.
real life.
Ugh, don't.
Who's not much better?
Himiko.
Hashtag Bayonara.
I don't really like her that much.
Himiko?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of.
like-
Yeah.
She doesn't really have much depth either.
Yeah.
I
She
don't
has
know.
the
For some
mystery.
reason,
But she's.
there's been like these multiple references to her having to go pee. I don't get it.
That's so weird.
What?
It does come up
Yeah.
a lot.
I
Yeah.
haven't noticed that.
Yeah, it does
Yeah.
happen a few times.
It's like they're playing up this little kid trope where it's like they're afraid to go pee at night or something.
They're all the same age. Please, they did this in another Danganronpa game too, where there's a person that looks younger than everyone else, but they're all the same age.
Oh, I thought.
Himiko's really petulant and childish and lazy, and like none of those things are good qualities. But I hang on to Himiko because of the question of if magic is real or not.
I think she's like an entertaining character too. Like I find her jokes do land when she's talking about magic stuff. So like
Yeah.
at the very least, I like her in that sense.
Yeah, I just
Tanko is like I'll roll my eye. Although Tanko did make me laugh originally when she had those like funny expressions and stuff, but yeah, now I'm just like I don't like her.
Oh yeah,
And then-
it's been boring for a while.
yeah, she's not
Yeah.
like Miyu's one note is funny each time. Tanko's is
I mean, Himiko does get
Yeah.
some good lines, especially with this arc where she's kind of turning on Tenko, where Tenko's like, "Hey, do you want to like, instead of going hanging out with Angie, do you want to just like hang out?" And Himiko's like, "No."
Yeah, and
That classic
and-
line, no.
Oh,
Classic Himiko line. You're not wrong.
yeah, I will say, I feel like I like Angie a little better this chapter because like things start to happen with her, but we can get into
We
that.
got, we
she
gotta
moves
go.
the plot along.
We
so,
have
yeah,
another
let's do
free
that.
time segment. I hung out with Kokichi
Miyu and
Kyo
Miyu.
again.
Miyu and Miyu.
Well-
Does anybody maxed out with anyone? Is
I have.
I maxed out Kirumi.
I maxed out Miyu.
okay. Well, at this point, I started piling my time onto Gonto because I knew that he was being taken advantage of by Kokichi, and
That's why I went to go hang out with Kokichi because I wanted to stop him from talking to Gonta.
no, it's like every
no.
time that I try to go with Gonto, it's like Kokichi is there just whispering in his ear, and.
So when
And
Poor
Kokichi's
Gonto. Oh,
that's true
like,
during the
"Oh,
free
you,
time?
you want to go
when
hang
you
out
talk
with-"
to like one or the other, was Kokichi like, "All right, Gonta, I'll permit it this time."
Yeah, Kokichi's like, I don't care about you right now. I'm gonna go hang out with Shuichi
Well, Kokichi
instead.
is like, well, you said that we had to do something, and then he's like, it's okay. But no, I wanted to get my time in because I was afraid that Kokichi was gonna like do this guy in by the end of the chapter.
So then it's nighttime, and Kaito knocks on our door again at night, and he wants us to go hang out with him alone. And okay. And like I was like, oh, are we gonna have a crisis and think about talking about his video? But Kaito takes us outside and is like, I haven't gotten to work on my astronaut training, and I want to train. Do you want to train together, Shuichi? We're gonna do 50 push-ups. Let's go. And they do not 50 push-ups. They do a lot of push-ups outside. And there's a little
Shuichi.
Yeah, and I even marked down that we run into
Kyo.
Kyo and Himiko.
Yep.
Yeah, Kyo's at the door when we leave, and he's like, what are you leaving so late at night for? And she's like, well, Kaito wanted something. And he's like, well, okay, but just letting you know that looks suspicious, so keep that in mind.
Oh, and behind us, too, is Kurumi, and if you talk to her, she tells you that the doors of the deceased are locked by Monokuma, so if you wanted to check out what Rantaro had in his room, you can't see it.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Interesting.
Me neither.
But so doing these push-ups, I actually thought this was great. Like, even though it was like abrasive and goofy, because Shuichi has been having these intrusive thoughts and exercising really hard so that he's super tired and then immediately passes out when he goes to sleep. He doesn't stay up late having these anxious thoughts about Kaede because he's so physically exhausted. So Kaito is actually a really good friend.
I thought Kaito also, didn't he tell us during this, like, not to blame yourself for
Yeah,
Kaede?
they have a whole conversation about it, and Shuichi's like, no matter what I do, I know logically, like, that it's not as much of my fault as I feel that it is, but, like, I'm always gonna feel that way. And Kaito's like, yeah, but you should.
And Kaito's best response is he's like, listen, I can't help you with your worries, but what I do know is that the brain and the body are connected, and that if you exhaust yourself, this is going to help. Like, you know, if you strengthen yourself this way, it's going to have an effect on your mental state. And, like, he's kind of right, too. He's like, this is going to help.
He's like, he's pretty serious when he's saying this is training.
And he also reveals that he's like, Shuichi, you're kind of a wimp, and but Kaede trusted you, and put like all her faith in you to get us out of this, so I'm gonna put my faith in you as well and try to help you the way that I can. So he's sort of also doing this for Kaede.
Do you think so?
Kaito's a good guy.
Do you think Kaito had a crush on Kaede?
Yeah, 100,000%.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's gonna be an endgame one, I think.
He loves Kaede, absolutely, and that's why he also is like, well, I'm gonna do this for her. So Shuichi doesn't have these problems, doesn't have those intrusive thoughts, and he gets a good night's sleep. And the next morning, on the way to breakfast, you can talk to Mew, and if you have a special item, what's the item?
Medallions.
Like a medal? The medallion?
Yeah, they were the medals, a set of medals that look like the Monokids.
If you have
I
that,
didn't have this.
Then she's like, I heard about these backroom items in the casino, and you can be like, oh, you mean these? And she's like, oh, you already have them. We should go see what they are at the casino. And you say, yes, we'll go after breakfast, and you get a little scene, which we'll talk about after breakfast.
Oh, I didn't get that. Himiko is now, by the way, at breakfast. Is that at breakfast or outside?
Yeah,
I think
at breakfast.
we see her like kind of in that pose. Oh, it's at breakfast.
Praying to
She's
Atua.
now
She
is now an acolyte of Atua, and she says feels better praying to him. So, her and Angie obviously spent their free time together.
It was like the night that
Tsubuki
we the night that we did the push-ups, we run into her, and she's like, man, this feels great. If I'd have known it felt this great, I would have had her remove the brainwashing earlier.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
she
right.
kind
I
of
forgot
sees
about
it. It's
that.
like she was brainwashed, and now she's not.
Yeah, and Tsumugi even like blatantly points out that it's so funny. They're like, they're like, playing to Atua isn't gonna like make your problems go away, and she's like, yeah, but it will. And they're like, that's escapism, and she's like, no, it's not. And Tsumugi, the ultimate cosplayer, is like, yeah, that's what escapism is. I thought that was really good.
Also, am I the only one, because we've only done, 4 seasons of this, that screws up Tsumugi and Tsugumi? Because we had one of those in season 1.
Tsugumi, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hard.
I think Tsumugi would cosplay as Tsugumi, for sure.
Oh, she totally would! And she
probably
probably
already has.
too.
Wait, who's Tsumugi?
Tsumugi is the one in Danganronpa V3.
Who's
Tsugumi
the
is someone I'm guessing in
It's Ever 17.
Ever 17.
Right.
Tsugumi's
Okay.
the
Was she
mom.
the vampire?
The vampire mom.
The hard ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
The cool one.
Yep.
So Angie has converted Himiko to the Atua religion, which is
Optimism.
escapism and optimism, depending on
Atuism.
how you look at it.
Right.
And they decided to make everyone happy that they're gonna put on a magic show tomorrow morning. Himiko's gonna put on a magic show, a traditional magic show.
Mm-hmm.
And they
And
announced
also we
the
get-
show.
And we get this weird scene where, Angie hugs Himiko and is like, I think you're more sad than scared. And it's just it's a really,
It's actually really sweet.
It is sweet, but it also feels like this could also be, hardcore brainwashing. This is how you do it when you really,
Yeah.
start connecting with someone on, a physical level and just messing with their minds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's weird that Himiko is the one who is susceptible to this as well. It's so strange. She, I don't know, she kind of talked about it as, she's been so overwhelmingly anxious this whole time, and, she's finally, kind of snapped and been like, oh, well, if I think about Atua and, I don't focus on reality, then I don't have this horrible, overwhelming anxiety that I don't know how to handle. I don't know. Is Angie getting ready to pull some shit? So we have Kokichi, who's kind of recruiting Gonta, and then we have Angie, who's kind of recruiting Himiko. And to what end?
If you want to know my opinion, I don't think Angie realizes that she's brainwashing. I don't think she, maybe she doesn't view it that way. If Atua is a cult, she is not the leader of it. She's just another.
I mean, that
Brick in
gets
the
tricky,
wall.
right? Yeah, but I mean, the thing about cult leaders too is they do buy into it. That's L. Ron Hubbard and who's the guy who did Jim Jones and such, and even the Heaven's Gate guy. None of them were I'm so tricking these people. They bought it. L. Ron Hubbard had an infamous interview or Howard Ellison had an interview, and he goes, I met him at a bar years later. I met him at a bar, and he said, you know how I'm gonna get rich? This is Hubbard. I'm gonna invent a religion. Da 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 da. And then years later, he met up and he's Ron, what are you doing? And he's like, no, I'm just. He had totally bought into this thing that he had invented.
Well, it's also a thing that you invent that gets you what you want. It's easy to convince yourself that what you're doing is correct when it's fulfilling all your desires to the exclusion of other people's.
And don't get me wrong, it's a total convince yourself thing of it, but you buy it. You don't I think it's a rare person who kind of can actually do the two-faced I am suckering all these people and I don't believe a word of it kind of thing. There I guess are people like that, but I think a lot of people do convince themselves of no, this is totally consistent with my beliefs.
Yeah,
now. You know what I mean?
If you've joined a cult where it's if you do these things, then good fortune and happiness will come your way. And if you're getting that, it doesn't really matter that you're screwing people over. You see it as, well, I made the right choice.
I have seen every episode of American Horror Story Cult, so I am an expert
It's true,
on cults,
you are.
okay? No, but, at any rate, no, I was just, I guess my point was just, I agree with Turbo. I don't think Angie is and I don't really have evidence per se, but I'm not yet reading this as Angie thinking I am so gonna sucker Himiko into whatever.
I think
I think
it's more interesting if we continue along this path of, like, even people who do murders, like, have a logic behind it other than just doing murders. Like, you know, that this, like, she has this blood god, and, like, that's, like, she's sincere.
I keep forgetting Atsu is a blood god now that you mention it.
And Angie has started saying, like, well, why do we even care about this killing game? Why don't we just stay here where we're fed and we have clothes and we can just turn this...
she wants to make heaven in here.
We can just turn this place
signaling
into
a death flag.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
So, so then after this revelation of the magic show, there's a little aside. If you have the medals, you go to the casino with Mew, and Mew, Kyo, Kokichi, and Ryoma are all in the casino for this scene. All my faves. There they are. And then also Kaito shows up
Cartoon
later.
All-Stars.
Love them all. All the greatest hits right here in the casino. And Monokuma shows up and is like, those medals, they're not anything. I just made them for the kids so they would feel better. And they're like, oh, they don't do anything? Well, okay, I guess we'll, like, gamble now? I don't know what game they play, but...
It's so weird, like,
Ryoma wins.
There's non-specific.
Yeah. They play a
and Ryoma
non-specific
specifically
game.
beats Kaito.
Like, really badly. Like, he keeps beating Kaito, like, really badly at whatever this ambiguous game is that they're playing.
Yeah, I want to bring up that when we first went into the casino, Kaito was there, and he was playing the machines, and it's like, oh yeah, look at all these coins I have, and Shuichi's like, wow, you got that many coins? And he was like, yeah, I got this all from, like, one coin, and...
Yeah, but...
then Monokuma shows up and is like, why not keep trying? And he's like, okay, and then he loses all his money.
Yeah, you're on a hot streak, pal, why don't you just keep rolling? And then, like, they cut a little bit later, he's down by half, and Monokuma's like, well... your luck's kind of run out. Why don't you just take what you've got and leave while you're ahead? And Kaito's like, no, I can make it back. And then they cut a little
Kaito
bit
pulled
later.
a real Cuphead.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that Monokuma was a freaking pit boss.
Oh yeah, no, Monokuma's those... Well, he comped him a room, I mean, technically.
So then, by the end, Kaito's lost all of his coins, and Shuichi's...
He's, like, crying on the ground.
He's like, I'm not going to gamble anymore, and Shuichi's like, most people who have a gambling problem say this.
Yeah, so Kaito shows back up to gamble with Ryoma. Ryoma wins really bad, like, just destroys him, and everyone laughs. And Kaito's like, this is why I don't gamble anymore. And another thing that I wrote down that was a fun bit of characterization is that Kyo, whose whole thing is that he seems like he's into a lot of stuff, cannot stand Mew and her sex jokes. She, like, keeps making sex jokes, and eventually he goes, please stop talking forever.
Wait, who did that?
Kyo.
Yeah, Kyo does, yeah.
I didn't see the scene.
The other walking pile of kinks. Kyo is like, no, I don't like you, Mew.
Well,
that's awesome.
It's kind of like Kaito's, down on the floor and he's crying. He's like, I lost again. And Mio's like, hey, good job. Why don't you give it a tug with the other hand now? And Kyo's like, shut up. And Mio's like, oh man, I was just trying to lighten the mood.
I just like how he doesn't like Mew's sex jokes because, like, I don't know. I did not expect him, of all people, to be the person who's like, stop that. That's disgusting.
But Kyo
I feel like he, as an entomologist, would be like...
Go ahead.
I was just saying, like, him as an entomologist, I feel like he'd be like, oh yeah, this cultural, like, lewd jokes, that's great.
Yeah, cultural norms
yeah,
are
I imagine that,
yeah.
like, yeah, it's probably like a really low form of humor to him, where it's like, yeah, it's anthropology, but it's like the lowest form of anthropology. Like the knock-knock joke or something.
I called him an entomologist, didn't I?
Yeah.
That's
okay.
Yeah.
But Kyo has this kind of spiel where he's like, well, there's kind of power in words, like superstition's not real, but people can believe that you can jinx something, and they can believe that they are, some things are unlucky, and that could affect them mentally and have like a physical, effect on it. So like there's power in words is what he's saying. And the opposite's true, where if somebody's confident in something, then they might do better in something, and if they believe in good luck, then that might be the case.
And Ryoma even says, if I started a match and I entered the court with my right foot, then I knew it was going to go well. And he was like, so I did the same thing at this, I assume, like, at the, like,
the
at
chair.
the slots or whatever. I don't know.
Whatever they're doing.
Whatever game they
They're
played
just
of
playing
unknown
slots.
origin.
I think
Yeah, are they
it's just
just-
the slots, where it's like, Ryoma's like, Kyokuchi's like, wow, you're so skilled at this, and it's just like a slot machine. There's no skill involved.
Yeah. So.
And the best is that
great.
immediately Kaito's like, oh, I'll try that same thing, and then he gets beat again.
Yeah.
Goes for another one.
Oh God.
It's a good
So
scene.
yeah, that's that little scene. Yeah, it's a good scene. Good characterization elements in it and stuff. It was
I'm
fun.
really sorry I missed it. Well,
We get to see a little bit more of Ryoma, which was nice. Being positive and not talking about dying.
I really like Ryoma. He kind of came around this chapter where it's like he was this loner, and he still kind of is, but he's, he's got problems in his past or whatever, and he's thinking, I don't have anything to live for, but maybe I do. Maybe I can change my life. I don't know.
Well, and then. So after that, we go back to our room. We have free time to hang out with people, and then it's nighttime. Or halfway through our free time, Kaito interrupts us and comes into our room and says, run, you gotta get out of here, he's here.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Gonta, he's like rounding everyone up. And we peep outside our door, and Gonta has gone Super Saiyan and is going around grabbing everyone, and like, you think that he's killing everyone, I think is the
Right.
implication.
I saw this coming like a mile away. The second Kokichi started hanging out with him, it's like, God damn
Yeah.
it! That little gremlin probably told him that everybody like hated bugs, and now he's just berserk mode rampage.
And
Guess what happened?
Such as it is, Kokichi has convinced Gonta that he needs to capture everyone who doesn't like bugs so that we can convince them to like bugs.
So he's captured a bunch of us, but not everyone. So we get knocked out by him, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
we
so
see him outside.
We run out, and it's us, and it's Shuichi and Ryoma right outside the dormitory, and Gonta is like advancing on us, and Ryoma has an aside where he's like, I'm not ready to die yet, actually, and he makes a break for it, and we also try to make a break for it, but we're not as cool, and so Gonta captures us and takes us to the Ultimate Entomology Lab.
Mm-hmm.
And we wake up, and who do we see? Standing over us.
Kokichi.
And he's like, I guess you're in hell.
Yeah.
That's right.
God.
Welcome to
I
hell.
love Kokichi, he's so awful.
Yeah. Let's see. I didn't have the list of who all's here because it's not everyone.
Well,
Yeah,
I
they
think it
didn't
might
get
be
Hirumi.
easier. I think it might be easier to say who isn't here.
Yeah, who is
Hirumi's
not
mom
here?
powers were too powerful.
Right.
And so
Miyu's
she
not
was
here.
helping Himiko and Angie with the magic show preparations, and so Gonta
Right.
didn't get any of them.
Right. Ryoma
Yeah,
got
Miyu's
away.
not there. Yeah, Ryoma,
Kaito
Miyu.
is also not there. He also ran
Right.
away.
Yep.
So
but-
Gonta's like,
Oh,
oh,
that-
is
another
this
thing we
enough,
didn't-
boss? And Kokichi's like, yeah, this is good enough.
Yeah. So another thing we didn't really.
Maki isn't.
Yeah, Maki's still locked in her
Yeah,
room.
Maki's
Another thing we
not.
didn't really focus on with talking about more about Kirumi is that everyone's kind of becoming like dependent on Kirumi to like do stuff.
Yeah.
for
Oh
them.
yeah. Yeah, they call her like kind of like, or Kokichi even just straight up calls her his mom. Right?
Yeah, he's like, please
Yeah.
be my mom now.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else
So,
does that
yeah.
too. I forget who though.
Yeah, everybody's kind of leaning on her a lot all of a sudden, and that's like
Yeah.
a weird thing.
Like, even
She
to
makes
do
some
things that
food
aren't in the scope of her, like, maid ability. Like, she does all the food and laundry and stuff, but, like, Miyu's telling her to, like, invent something for her while she sleeps. And,
And Kyo's like, take my notes.
yeah. So
It's just
Kurumi's
varying
being kind of put
levels of-
upon.
Yeah, but she's like, this is my job. I love it. I still waiting for her to crack. Like, what's going on?
Like, no, this is fun. I enjoy doing this.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. But
This
yeah,
is all there
so
is in
anyway,
my
they're all
life.
in the room.
Yep.
And Kokichi gets Gonta to keep them all in there so he can go steal everyone's Monokid pads from their rooms. So he's like, I'll
Well-
be back in like an hour. I'll be back before
And he
nighttime.
He mentions the ability to pick locks too.
Yeah, he's like, it'll be easy.
So yeah, like Kokichi is- that's right.
Gonta
wait,
releases all the bugs.
Yeah, and we get chased around. This is called the bug meet and greet.
Yeah,
For
the
an
insect
hour,
meet and
for
greet.
2 hours.
It's so
Yeah.
weird.
And when I say, or when we say it releases the bugs, it's this huge wall that had the bug eggs in it. And they fly open.
Himiko is
and just this
consumed.
swarm.
Yeah, so Himiko
Just
and
like
Angie
this
are there.
huge black
Yeah.
swarm.
Miko's just asleep during all this, I think.
No,
and
Himiko
she's-
gets covered by bugs completely.
She's completely
Yeah, so
covered,
she
and
Angie
like
were
I think
there.
Tenko's like, "Don't move," and she's not moving because she's consumed by bugs, and she's just a bug person now.
Yeah, weird. That's the first death. Weird. Or the next death of this chapter. Himiko, eaten by bugs. Weird.
That's why Himiko
No.
bot shows up next time.
And so it takes fucking forever, and they all get chased around by bugs, and it's awful and horrible. And Kokichi comes back an hour late and says, "Sorry, it took me so long. I ran into an issue." And he's got a big stack of Monokid pads. And he's like, "We're gonna binge watch all of these. It'll be fun and great." And after this, right when it seems like Kokichi has successfully gotten away with this plan, finally Kibo does something, and Kibo says, "Don't make me like
Activates
use my."
his ultimate robot ability, which is a tape recorder.
The
and-
ability to record audio.
Yep. They built a yak back in there. So he
yeah.
was recording Kokichi's speech where, before Gonta shows up, Kokichi has this kind of villain spiel where it's like, well, I'm going to trick Gonta into keeping you all here, and I'm just going to go get the Cubs pads. And then Kiba plays that back, and Gonta gets pissed. It's like, whoa, wait, you tried to trick me? And Kokichi's like, no, I totally love bugs. And Gonta's like, oh, that's great. Well, why don't you meet some bugs too? Because then we can all have fun. So the pads are recovered, and Kokichi...
And everyone runs away
Kokichi has
and
a-
leaves
yeah, everyone
Kokichi
runs
in the
away.
bug room.
Yeah,
who has
Yep.
his
the idea
own
is
personal
basically
meet and greet.
Yeah, it's such a confusing circumstance that like Gonta and Kokichi are engaged. Everybody checks out with the pads.
Yeah, so Kokichi gets his own bug hell as well in return for doing this.
Yep.
And they give the pads back, and Monodam shows up, and they go, "Here, give these back to who they're supposed to go to." And he goes, "Okay." So who knows? Maybe when they get back, they'll have different ones.
Or the right ones.
Or the right ones.
Yeah.
Well, we forget to, and we have the very foreboding comment that like we forgot to train with Kaito, and then say not like I'll never see him again, and then fall asleep. And now it's time for the magic show the next morning.
Next morning.
This is in very poor taste, this magic show, considering they're all in a murder game.
It's so freaking obvious too. It's like, come on, really?
Mm-hmm. I didn't know how else to. Yeah. So anyway,
It's an escape trick, which, like, there are a lot of magic tricks that aren't escaping from a life-threatening situation. Why would you do this during a murder game?
Well, to make
big tank of
everybody happy.
water.
Yeah, that's gonna make everybody happy when they're facing certain death. Hooray!
So the whole trick is, what is it like?
It's a water tank escape trick.
But like I forget exactly what they do because Himiko is the one who's going to jump in the tank.
Right.
More or less.
Himiko gets
Angie is
into a
kind of the
tank.
host, right?
And has a minute to get out. And if she doesn't get out within that minute, there's a big tank of piranha above the pool that opens and dumps the piranha in, and she gets eaten by piranha.
And by the way, the piranha was Angie's idea.
Yep. Oh, somebody's calling your name. But I think it's, just to specify, it's called the Extreme Water Magic Underwater Escape Act.
There's not like, so Angie gets in the water, or sorry, not Angie. Himiko gets in the water. She's not like wearing handcuffs or anything. I don't think. So when they're saying
No,
she
just
has,
jumps in.
so
Yeah.
when they're saying she has to escape from the water in a minute, you're just sort of like, okay, just swim
Can
up.
she just get out? And also, for some reason, she seems really scared. Like,
Yeah.
to do this trick.
And, like, everybody's concerned about her. Like, everyone, the whole vibe is like, this is a bad idea. This seems like a bad idea.
Like, everybody immediately is like, wait a second, are we in the middle of a killing game? And do you want to risk killing? I don't think it's a good idea.
Suddenly, I just remembered the circumstances we find ourselves in.
So how the trick goes is that she jumps in the water, and then Angie is like the lovely assistant, and she closes this curtain that's in front of the water tank so you can't see if Himiko is getting out of the tank or not. And they wait for like 30 seconds or 60 seconds or something like that, and it goes all the way down to the wire, and everyone's like, oh god, she's dead, oh god, what's going on?
Oh man,
and Gonza can't take it, so
man,
he jumps up. Yeah, he jumps up and is like, what's going on? And it's like, huh? Well, he looks down to see what's in there, and he says, huh, right before the curtain actually reveals.
Yeah, and they pulled the curtain back, and just as she pulls the curtain back, also, everyone looks at what's going on inside, and it is also right as Himiko appears in front of the tank, and is like, I'm fine! And in the tank, instead of Himiko, is a handcuffed Ryoma, who is then eaten by all the piranhas that are dropped into the tank, and turns into a cartoon skeleton.
Yep.
Yeah, like hardcore cartoon. And you don't know if Ryoma is actually unconscious or dead. Like, there's no sort of indication. There's not like a tip-off.
He's just sort of
this time
there.
floating.
But he is handcuffed. You do notice that the piranha and the piranhas don't eat that.
Yeah,
Don't eat the handcuffs.
Don't eat the
Bone
If you're a
slapper.
piranha, don't eat any handcuffs.
Bones and handcuffs are what's left.
Yeah.
And Kokichi goes, "Oh, we need to break the tank. We need to break it. It'll take too long to drain." And so they break it by Tenko and Gonta throwing Kibo at the tank, which is extremely rude. And the
Wasn't
tank
Kibo like up for that though? He's like, yeah, I'm the heaviest thing.
No, he's like, wait, no.
He was like,
and then
let
he's
me-
like offended. Yeah. And then he's just sad.
Let me use my robot power, and they were like, well, that's too slow. You're heavy. Let's throw you.
Yeah, let me use my recording functionality.
And he's just like too depressed to talk after that.
Yeah, well, I would be. Come on.
Yeah.
You're a robot.
Kibo.
You're trying to like be a real boy, and everybody just dunks on you all the time.
Like a real boy.
So they
real
look,
boy.
they get, and then Monokuma comes over the speakers and is like, a body has been discovered. Here it is. Everyone come to the gym. And they get the Monokuma file, and investigations start. So, who do you think did it? Ooh, this reminds me, in my notes, there's another thing that we didn't get, right after the scene with, or we didn't mention, right after the scene with Kaito and Shuichi, he's like, I think I'm gonna trust him, and then there's like a little aside where he says like, little did I know that was a bad idea. I shouldn't have trusted anyone.
Oh, yeah,
The
that is
aside
something-
was like,
it's right, yeah.
Little did I know how terrifying it could be to trust somebody in this school.
That's what it was, yep.
Yeah.
So
Which
it's
is
not
weird
saying
how you
it's a
learn
bad
that.
idea, but that it's scary. It's something scary is probably going to happen.
Or like something bad's gonna happen, maybe not because of Kaito, but because of trusting someone in this killing game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, who do we trust other than Kaito, though?
I don't know. We might not even be able to trust Kaito.
So I
just
don't
saying,
have
you
any
can trust
good
Gonta. He doesn't have the brains to like backstab anybody.
Yeah. So from my perspective, the crux of this investigation might be whether or not magic is real. Because, how did Ryoma get into the tank? Could he have gotten into the tank because Himiko's magic...
Because magic is real.
Was teleporting her somewhere, right? And wherever she teleported was also where Ryoma was, and so they swapped. They swapped places. Maybe by accident. Maybe Himiko didn't do it on purpose. It didn't seem like she did it on purpose. But what if she teleported, and she teleported to the exact spot that they agreed upon beforehand, her and Angie, and Angie, knowing that she could get some blood for her blood god, somehow got handcuffed Ryoma into that same spot so that he would get swapped with Himiko and and get teleported into the tank and eaten by piranhas.
Also, like, I don't want to
Yeah.
go too in depth, but there, because we're trying to avoid spoilers of personal time, but there may not be just one person with teleportation powers.
Oh my god.
What?
We got a real prestige situation going on here.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
I'm
that's
just
what I'm
saying, Angie's not going to get much blood out of this event unless she goes through the piranhas.
Yeah, it's going to be
Just
very
ganglings.
diluted. I'm not sure if Atua is into, like, the...
Sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So I also, there's another note, which is that Ryoma was handcuffed in the water, and I feel like, so it took Kokichi extra time to get back. So obviously we're supposed to suspect that he could have done something. But I do wonder if he got caught by Ryoma, maybe didn't kill him, but merely handcuffed him so that Ryoma could not stop him from stealing everything, and then someone else came across a handcuffed Ryoma.
Oh.
Because I feel like it's too early for Kokichi to actually kill someone. But
Yeah,
all
I
of
would
these
agree
all
with
of
that.
these scenarios lead to sort of a weird, like, whose fault is it really, right? It's like that morality test or whatever. Like, was it the princess's fault or the bull or the king or the whatever from fucking Shattered Memories?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, is it Himiko's fault because she did the trick? Is it Angie's fault for encouraging her? Is it Kokichi's fault for leaving Ryoma handcuffed somewhere? Like, I wonder how that, what that even is all about. Or is it,
It's
or is
Tenko's
it something
fault.
totally out of left field? Like, was it Maki? She's just been locked up in her murder room.
Yep.
Okay, damn it. I'm like total anime dad. I was like trying to like do this as quickly as possible so I could come down and talk about murder game stuff. What did I
What's your
miss?
theory? What's your theory about who killed
Yeah, we got
Ryoma?
to the end, so.
Ryoma.
Oh, did you already say your theories? I want to hear that.
Oh, I gotta have to listen to the recording.
Yes.
So
I don't have-
I didn't say my theory yet. I don't have a good like thought for this because I don't know anyone's motive. I don't know really any about who could do this. My only thoughts is that it's very clearly connected to the magic trick, and of the people involved, there was Himiko, Angie, and they sort of mentioned offhand that Kirumi helped knit the curtains.
Oh yeah, somebody could have used Kirumi to put a hit out, as we discussed last time.
Right, because Kurumi's
Yeah.
just all about, I'm gonna do whatever you tell me. So
I don't think
I'm gonna
it's
play
that.
this card where it's like somebody's gonna say, I want you to put a hit out, and Kurumi's gonna be like, okay.
She's a maid, though.
I don't think that's necessarily going to happen.
Yeah, because she's been doing stuff based on the majority opinion, and like, so if one person said to kill someone else and it clearly was not the majority opinion, I don't think she would do it.
So I was thinking it might be Kirumi, but the other thought I had was Miyu, who might actually know how this magic trick is performed. With like this tank and all that. Because magic tricks always have like some sort of weird mechanical solution science. And so she like swapped out what's his face?
Ryoma.
Ryoma. He's dead. I don't care. I don't need to know his name anymore.
I'll never forget him.
Well, yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't.
I was already. Sorry.
My theory is, I guess, if I'm gonna have to pick someone, it would be Miyu.
She's like really horny for magic, though. Like that was like she was like so excited.
She's horny
to see
for
the magic
everything. That's
show.
not gonna be it.
See, my theory, because based on the last murder and the solution, which was like, hey, we're gonna flip everything on you, and we're gonna make like the protagonist is now gonna be the one who's guilty, and we're gonna flip protagonist. Is that it was a suicide?
But it can't, because they just established during the Gonta Super Saiyan scene that he had started to come around on that.
Yeah, but maybe he found out his motivation and realized it wasn't good enough.
And then
I'm
is
gonna
it
say-
a suicide, or is it the fault of the person who showed him his video?
Ooh, forced suicide.
Like in the court, in the trial sense.
Yeah.
Not in,
yeah,
like,
like
the
if
real
you get the
world
text
legal
messages from your
sense.
girlfriend, yeah, like the ones where you're like, hey, kill yourself, just you loser.
Well, and not in the real world legal sense, but in this trial, right? Like who
Oh,
like
okay,
you
yeah.
know, the blame, like how does the blame work in this like fucked up trial setting?
Well, I mean, that could happen, but if if it was a suicide, somebody would have to come back afterwards and kind of like make it so it was a murder, so that they could get credit, so they could graduate.
Well, they don't have to, though, because you could just find him guilty of his own killing, which means he doesn't get to leave, and the trial's done.
Well,
like if everybody says, "Oh, he did it himself," then it's over.
I wonder if you did a suicide, like, would you simultaneously be punished and graduate? Would they just like throw you over the wall outside?
We asked this question last time. We're gonna ask it this time. I don't think any of these characters are ever gonna actually commit suicide.
Without spoiling things from previous games, I will just say Danganronpa never handles corner cases super well, in my opinion. Like whenever things like
what exactly
that come
is a
up,
corner
like
case?
Like someone killing themselves.
What do you mean? What's a corner? What the fuck? Get the hell out of here!
I've never heard that.
You never heard of the term
edge
corner
case?
Case? Like an edge case, sure. The point I'm getting at is like things that are outside of your standard thing. They're like, I've always felt a little like, huh? Like, or like there's something that happens in the middle of trial. Like there's not a great way to suss it out.
Monokuma will usually, like, if there is something, he'll be like, yeah, this is how it works. And like the murderer's like, oh, this works out in my favor. And I totally knew about it the entire time.
It happens to work out to make an okay murder mystery is probably the only rule that you can follow from it.
Except when the implied protagonist is the one who actually dies.
Okay, well, all right, yeah. All right, they get a mulligan, maybe. I don't know. No, I apologize because I had to run off, but for my son and all. But like, did we talk about like Well, I'm sorry. Were you done with your theory, Paula?
No. I have two theories. I think Maki may have been involved, or Maki may have done it, because her character seems like somebody that really does not like her ultimate, and she even says at some point that she doesn't really like kids. It could be that maybe she hates kids, maybe her room is like a bunch of kid stuff and she doesn't want people to go in, I don't know, but she seems really averse to her ultimate, and it could be that Ryoma is setting her off because he looks like a kid.
Oh my god.
Get the fuck out of here.
What are you talking about, get the fuck out of here? Is that too out there?
Like
is that too out there in this world of magic robot bears?
Are you afraid to look at the truth? Shuichi said he wouldn't be afraid to reveal the truth.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know if...
but the teleportation could totally be real.
Fair. All right, no, the thing though that like struck me about, so I don't have a good guess on this. My only guess, if I had to, is Angie, just because piranhas were her idea and she kind of like helped set this up with Himiko, you know. But like that seemed, even as I thought that was like a little too obvious, but I just didn't have any like other good suspects. But the only thing is, and again, I'm sorry if you talked about this already, it does seem fairly obvious that the piranha aspect of this are meant to cover up either how Ryoma was actually killed or something else about the crime.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know if we want to go like a little bit past the investigation start, like, and talk about what's in the Monokuma file, because you get like 2 lines about it or whatever before you can save.
Yeah.
And it says cause of death drowning, and it doesn't have a time of death specifically.
And that's actually kind of what I'm talking about with corner cases, because like I feel like that kind of thing is sort of unfair in terms of like if you're in the killing game then and this is an important thing. Monokuma or the Monokums are basically calling it out and they're kind of screwing you.
And also like there's no way to establish that based on the evidence. Like you have to have had video record of it to know.
They also don't say when the time of death is.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Say it, and they logic out that like the reason that it's not in the file is because if they knew the time of death, then it would make it obvious who the murderer was.
Which is like that's the murderer's fault, really. Why is Monokuma
I know,
helping?
right? That's not really getting away with it, is it?
They came to Monokuma later. It's like, look, I'm new at this. I kind of screwed it up. Can you just give me a mulligan? Can you like just?
I'm just a teen.
Please, I get good grades.
Well, But you can see what's happening, right? Where like it seems obvious that Monokuma is like, oh shit, if I mention the time of death, that's totally gonna give this person away, so I gotta get rid of it. But that also calls it out. But it's almost like then I wonder, is like the Monokuma file really important at all?
Yeah, because
like,
you're clearly being manipulated. So what's the point?
It's like, yeah, or I was just saying to make a better murder mystery, like, you know. Maybe,
I mean, like, it's necessary because, like, you want to know what was the cause of death and when, preferably, but if they're not going to tell you that, then what the fuck's the point?
But I'm just saying, too, if you're in this murder game and you want to get away with it, and you want something that's going to obscure the cause of death, the Monokuma file screws you.
Yeah.
And there's, like, no way around it, because then it's like, cause of death, we're not telling you, and then everyone's like, that's interesting, they didn't tell us this time, and it's like, fucking Monokuma, like, knock it off! Like, just, like, you know, help me out here. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. But, yeah, I didn't have any good... The only other thing that I wanted to add, just going by my notes here, like, usually these water magic tricks involve mirrors somehow, because, like... Yeah, like, it's hard to see mirrors underwater. You know, they usually, like, blend in really well. Infamously, like, if you've ever seen Penn and Teller's, like, Teller has that goldfish bowl trick, which uses a mirror, and that's, like, it's a really amazing trick that I just ruined for no reason. I should have told you to YouTube it first or something. But, no, like, he's, like, dipping his hands in water, and then all of a sudden these goldfish, he's just coming out of his hands, and it's amazing. But, like... but that's, like, it's done with a mirror, basically. So,
I mean, I don't really think that's a spoiler. A lot of tricks are just done with mirrors.
Magic's not like, real.
I still could not connect how that would tie into the murder, though, at all. So, there you have it.
Because you see what happens. It's not a mystery.
You're not like, what happened to the body?
Yeah, fair.
Where's the body, George?
But I mean, it might make sense because maybe Ryoma was in there that entire time, and Himiko comes in, and then the goldfish start pouring out.
Tenko did it. Because she hates men. That's it.
Fair.
He solved it.
She has the motive.
Okay,
all right.
So I guess we're good for next time, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Next time until the end of
the
chapter,
goal
right?
After the trial? End of chapter?
Yes, that's right. I will say, I believe, read to the end of chapter 2, to be clear, because there is a brief scene after trial.
Sure.
Okay.
But, all right, then.
Put your thinking caps on.
Put your thinking caps on.
Oh,
all right.
Boy, time to solve the mystery.
All righty.
So long, farewell.
Farewell.